Algebra students, what's up? Mr. Rizzo here. I know for some of you that saw me look a little bit different. Okay, got a haircut finally. But still me, you can tell. I'm at home right now. Most of my videos will be posted from school. This is kind of rare, but I'm stuck at home right now on this Monday. So coming to you from here. Things are gonna be a little delayed, so I apologize for that. Just because I'm not at school to get things done, it takes a little bit longer to do them at home. So today we're moving on to multi-step equations with variables on both sides. Now multi-step, it simply just means 3 or more steps, okay? We talk about 1-step equations, 2-step equations are our goal. Multi-step is just more than that, 3 or more steps, okay? So far we talked about a little bit about distribution. Okay, so today is going to be when there's just variables on both sides. We're going to do 3 little examples. There's going to be a practice attached with this, and then you'll see on Google Classroom what you need to get done, when you need to get done, stuff like that. So first example. At any point, if you need to pause the video, that way you can write it down. But example 1, we got 8x minus 3 equals negative 2x plus 17. There's different ways to solve an equation. Okay, one thing you can do is think about, I need to move my variables to one side and my numbers to the other side, okay? So there's 2 options. You either move variables to the left because you like them on the left, or you move the variable the direction that will make the problem easier, okay? What I mean by easier is just less negatives, okay? No one likes negative numbers, okay? It's just a fact. I don't even like negative numbers, but move the variable that makes the problem easier. In this case, left is actually the easier one, because if you notice, we have 2 options here. I'm either going to move the negative 2x this way or the 8x that way. Okay, so to move the negative 2x, it's the same way we'd move a number. It's the same way as negative 3. To get rid of the negative 3, you would add it to the other side, so we're going to do the same thing with the negative 2x. We're going to add the negative 2x to both sides of the equation. So we'll get something that looks like this. Okay, obviously they'll cancel here, and then we just do the math. 8x plus 2x gives me 10x, so I'm going to have 10x minus 3 equals 17. And you notice we're already at a 2-step equation. Okay, one thing you have to keep in mind, if my variables went one direction, my numbers need to go the opposite direction. In this case, my variable went left, so my number needs to go to the right. So I would add the 3 to both sides. I'd get 10x equals 20. Those 3's would obviously cancel. Sorry, it's kind of hard to show and see at the same time. And then the last step, divide by the 10 on both sides, and we'll get x equals 2. Okay, again, there's different ways to do it. If you move the variable the opposite direction, the number the opposite direction, you'd still get the same answer. You might get 2 equals x instead of x equals 2, but in the end, it's the exact same answer. So that's example 1. Again, pause if you need to, otherwise we're moving to example 2. So here we go, example 2. Okay, you'll notice there's no parentheses or anything, but what I added was one little step on one of the sides, okay? Before you do anything, try to simplify sides of the equation. Right now, we can just ignore this side of the equation and just focus on this side, okay? You notice on this side, there's nothing to do. 10x minus 6, nothing to do. You can't do anything, so you just leave it, ignore it. Don't worry about it yet. On this side, we have 2 things going on. We got our plus 7 at the end, but we also have a 4x minus 2x. Those are combining like terms. That's something we talked about before. Okay, so we'd combine like terms on this side first, then do the steps like we did in example 1. So 4x minus 2x gives me 2x plus 7 equals 10x minus 6. Now, again, pause if you need to. I set this problem up so we would move the variable to the opposite way. Now, if you want the variable on the left, go ahead and subtract the 10x to the left, but you'll notice you'll get 2 minus 10. Not only do more people make mistakes, but it'll give you a negative. So if you want to avoid negatives, move the variable so you don't get a negative. So I'm going to take this 2x, I'm going to move it to the left. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. we get 7x equals, or 7 equals 8x minus 6. Okay, and again, it's a two-step equation. So if you move the variable to the right, we now need to move that number, negative 6, to the left by adding it to both sides. So I get 13 equals 8x. From there, our last step, as we know many times, is to divide. So let's divide by the 8. Now, here is the mistake people are going to want to do. I don't know why, but people love decimals. Stop it. You don't need a decimal. You can't do anything with 13 over 8. You can make a mixed number. Well, why would you? Don't spend time doing the work you don't need to do. 13 over 8 is my answer. Done. Problem solved. You don't need to do anything else. X equals 13 over 8. A couple things with the decimals. 1, it's more work. 2, some people mess it up when they try to convert it to a decimal, okay? And that's not an easy decimal to convert to, so don't convert it to decimal if you don't need to. You rarely need to in this class, so don't do it. Leave it as that. You can't reduce it. There's your answer, okay? Because if you convert it to a decimal and do it wrong, well, guess what? You have the wrong answer now. So just leave this, okay? Pause if you need to. Otherwise, we're moving on to example 3. So, example 3, here we go. You'll notice, left side, not much to do. Just rewrite it, okay? Pause if you need to. All right, there you go. So, rewriting 9x minus 2. And on the right side, we need to get rid of the parentheses. So we distribute that negative 3. Distribute, again, means multiply whatever's on the outside to everything on the inside. So we're going to distribute negative 3 times 4x will give me negative 12x. And then negative 3 times the 5 will give me negative 15. Okay, and then we find ourselves in the exact same situation as example 1. Okay, so from here, decide where you want to move the variable. If you want to move it to the right, go ahead and move it right. But it'd be easier to move it to the left, 1, because then you'd be adding the 12, and it'll give you a positive variable on the left, and it's on the left, okay? Most people like the variable on the left. Some people will even do anything they can to make the variable on the left, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to add the 12x to both sides. Obviously on the right, they're going to cancel. So we're going to have 21x minus 2 equals negative 15. And then from there, it's a two-step equation. If you can get to the two-step equation, you should be fine. Okay, so we're going to add 2 to both sides. I'm going to get 21x equals negative 13. And last step, like we said, most of the time is going to be divide. Just because this is how we start our equations, we always go through the same steps. Only time you're not going to divide is obviously there's no coefficient, or if you got some goofy fraction at the end of it. Okay, so we divide by 21. They cancel on the left. Similar to the last problem, you cannot do anything. I mean, you can, but why would you want to? Negative 13 over 21 is your answer. Please don't try to make that a fraction. You're going to give yourself a headache. Okay? Pause if you need to. Otherwise, that has to do it for today. The worksheet, again, access Google Classroom. You will find it, and you'll know when it needs to be done and stuff like that. Hope you have a good one. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.